Good evening, everybody. Well over 50 years ago, all of us came together from Gilbert Elementary School and Wisner Elementary School. We came together from different backgrounds, different areas. Some of us, our parents were sharecroppers, and some of us, our parents were landowners, and some of us, we were quite different, but we met at Wisner Gilbert in 7th grade, and we actually bonded together. We bonded because what we had in common was much stronger than what our differences was. I remember quite clearly, and I know those of you who are here also, it was the 60s in the midst of Jim Crow South, and as some would want us to believe, be separate but equal, but we know it was separate but unequal. But those of us who lived through that era, I know that we've come to realize that separate wasn't necessarily bad. There were some good things about being separate, and it would have been better had it been separate but equal. But we came together, and at Wisner Gilbert, I am just grateful that we met some amazing teachers who cultivated those values in us. And it made us who we are 50 years later. I would like to think because they realized that we were young, gifted, and black, and we had something to share with the rest of the world. And they cultivated that. I was one of those individuals who didn't graduate with my class in '69, but as I tell my friends in Illinois, my formative years were shaped by what I learned from first grade, growing up with the individuals. Our teachers gave us a strong sense of pride in who we were. They gave us a strong sense of purpose in what we were to become. They understood and pushed and realized that education was important. And if we were going to make a difference in the world, we had to prepare ourselves for that world that we were going to meet. And I remember some of them. We talked about those teachers who helped shape us who we are. But in the last 50 years, we've lost some of those who were near and dear to us. If you're open, if you have your program, and you look through the class of '68, you see those names of individuals who are no longer with us. If you look at that program in the class of '69, there's some of our friends who are no longer with us, along with 1970. Yeah. Because I really believe those individuals also helped made us who we are today too, because of our experience growing up with them. So, and one of the things Doris wanted me to do is take 2 or 3 seconds and let's a moment of silence that we would remember those individuals who started with us, but they're no longer with us. Thank you. That's our past. Our present, I believe that all of those teachers would be proud of what we have become, what you all have become. I understand there are lots of educators who are here as part of our class. I know there are individuals who are in law enforcement who are part of our class. There are individuals who have become engineers that are part of our class. There are individuals who have put their mark in other work fields. And the thing that I'm most proud of is that our parents at Wisner Gilbert taught us the value of hard work. I talk, sometimes individuals will ask me, what did your dad leave you? How much money did he leave you? I'm quick to tell them that he left me something that's more important than money. He gave me a strong work ethic. He taught me how to take care of myself and not depend on others to take care of me. And for that, I am eternally grateful. And I know that from what I hear, you all can understand what I'm talking about, because that's what some of your parents left you with. And there's a couple of things that at present that I hope that we would do. I want to make sure, and I hope that you make sure that you invest in the next generation of young people. You all, those teachers at Wisner Gilbert, invested in us. They loved us. One of the things I learned from leaving Wisner Gilbert and going to a school in Joliet, Illinois, that we were about, Carrie, we were probably 13% of the population. There's no love like the love you get from teachers who are genuinely concerned about. Now, I'm from a family of educators. I know that educators have to educate for more than just commitment. They need to be paid, and I'm also on the school board, and I make sure that they're paid well. But teachers who do the best job love what they do. And I am also keenly aware of spending some time teaching Sunday school. You don't necessarily have to be an educator in the secular world to make an impact on a child. I think we need to mentor, we need to give counsel, and not only that, we need to put some money where our mouths are. We need to set up scholarships and make sure that those young people are able to continue their education. And we need to make sure that our priorities are in order. Now, these are my priorities, and I hope they resonate with you, but you have to make your own. For me, my parents taught me that God comes first. There's nothing I would do in my working field that would break God's laws. I wouldn't lie to help my boss or my company. I won't steal. Those values break God's law. The next thing is family. Family is very important, you all. Without family, we cease to be who we are. And the third thing, my priority is my job when I'm retired. That comes next. And the fourth thing is the things I do in the community. I make sure that I invest my time in the community. And now here's an interesting one. I also put the things that I do in my church, because sometimes, y'all, things we do in church, sometimes they got nothing to do with God. What we do with it. Yeah. And they're important. And finally, you all, the future. The future. Most of us here are retired. And our parents have always taught us that only what we do for Christ will last. And I believe that. I would encourage us to stay with the church. Don't ever get a couple of degrees and think that the church is old and out of date. A guy who's much wiser than I once said, the church is like Noah's Ark. Maybe some of you heard this one before. The church, the black church, is like Noah's Ark. If it wasn't for the storm on the outside, you probably couldn't stand the stink on the inside. And that's important, because out there, it's bad, you all. Stay with the church. Stay with the church. We have to make sure, because all of us are now leaders in our church, we have to make sure that the church is relevant to the upcoming generation, because we know that God's church is God's only remedy for redeeming the world. So we have to stay with the church. Make sure you do something for not only your children, but some other children. It's important. And make sure you are. Remember I told you what my father left me was a work ethic? We are at a stage in our lives that we need to not only give our children some work ethics, but we need to leave them a legacy of some finances. Proverbs 13:22-25 says, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. You all, I used to maybe I wasn't teasing. I would tell my children, my inheritance to you is your education. But Doris says, those of us who have a few nickels together, we ought to invest in other children's life, and we ought to put a quarter aside for our children and our children's children. I appreciate this time, and thank you.
Last but not least on our program today is our teacher and our sponsor of class of 1969, Mr. Lewis Johnson. We cannot stop and live in this world and take it for granted our freedom, our lives, and everything else like this. So at this time, Mr. Johnson is going to stop a moment and recognize our veterans.
Thank you, Sister Doris. The brass boy got up here and he started preaching. Know about 90%. We're going to do what I've been asked to do because I believe in that. I'm going to recognize the veterans. First person I want to recognize, he left earlier. The oldest veteran that was in here today was Elmo Carolina. Let's give him a hand on the call. Now I'm going to ask all the veterans, I don't want to leave out anyone in the room, please stand. Let me see, can I call her name? July the 9th, I'll be 82.
Louis, have them come up front so we can get them all in the video camera.
Robert Wood. Come on, Robert. Smith, get in. William Chin. Adele Brown. Give us a chair. Zach Melton. Anybody else stand better? Oh, Peter Brown. Do we have anyone else that's better? Come on, Zach.
Who is for you, Reverend?
Of course. That was the next oldest veteran in the house.
Y'all come in a little bit together. Yeah, closer.
Get him in.
All right, on behalf of the veteran, I'm going to salute you.
All right.
Thank you for your service.
Keep that check coming, Lewis.
Okay, before we end the program, class of 1968, 69, and 70, please remain because we have some things to discuss. Last got Albert Minor, and he's going to talk about the blast from the past.
Oh, look at me.
The right one.
Because how can we live in this world and not make memories? And each and every one of us have memories. So Albert is going to bring memories back to us.
Ooh, little boy. Y'all say the hard one for me. It's kind of hard for me to remember what happened yesterday, man. I guess I was kind of big on sports. And I could probably direct this to Zachary. Whoa, Jack Bray. I could probably direct this toward Jack Brass, Titus Boyd, Robert Boyd, Herbert Smith back there. If I could jog you guys' memory, we know that Michael Jordan was one of the best guys that ever played the game of basketball. But during our time, we had a guy that played basketball that was kind of even-handed. He went up to shoot a jump shot with his right hand, and the defensive player was in his face, and he switched it over to his left hand. Who am I talking about? Michael Bingham. All right, that's correct. That's correct. All right, we're gonna send this on around the table. Anybody want to raise their hand on any precious memory, bad memory, memory at all from your high school days, elementary days? It doesn't matter, just whatever you come to mind. Don't be shy, don't be ashamed.
All right, I'll start off with one, maybe why they thinking. Okay, when Michael was playing basketball and stuff like that, he was a star point guard. And so we didn't have cheerleading back then and everything. So I said, okay, we need to start a cheerleading group. So I had my red skirt and my white t-shirt, and we said, when we walk in, we were on the right corner over there. So boy, I was just so excited. And then, I was thinking about that, and I said, wow, it is amazing that we were saying Wisner Gilbert Devils and everything. I said, the Devils? And we didn't know any better, but we were excited about being a Wisner Gilbert Devil. So I want to reflect back when I was a cheerleader at Wisner Gilbert High School. We're going to now promoting the devil, okay? Everywhere we go,
You want to know
who we are.
we tell them.
We are the devils.
We got it started, y'all. We got it started. Come on now. I know Doris and I are not the only two with the memory in here. Come on, Betty. Come on, Rose. Zachary, Neil.
Can't remember that.
Come on, Bill.
Come on, Rosa Jackson, Rosa Johnson.
Everything I know is got your limitation still going on. I can't. Maybe they in trouble.
Well, I tell you what. I can remember when Mr. Johnson was going to call himself whipping me and Neil. That didn't turn out too good, did it, Babe Run? Bend over, give it to me tight. Come on, y'all, let's keep this party going.
There are a couple things that probably of all the professors. I mean, I had some great teachers. I can talk about Mrs. Hicks, but Jan is here, so I probably won't do that. I can talk about Mrs. Brad, Lewis, but the person I always enjoyed just listening to was Prince Albert Brooms. I mean, if you want to know some stuff, talk to Prince Albert. Can y'all remember when we were playing McCall and around, was it 68? Somewhere the game was going back and forth, and Broom was in the corner, and all of a sudden the trash can was on fire. He was smoking. She just set the trash can on fire. I thought they were going to kick us out of there. I told him last night about the time when Broom had this old car. We used to tease him. I said, Mr. Broom, you need to get that car fixed. When you gonna get that car fixed? All the bumps and bruises on it. He said, as soon as I start driving on the outside, So Mr. Broom came in one Friday, he said, guys, I'm gonna go buy me a brand new Cadillac this weekend. And when I get back, y'all gonna see my Cadillac. I'm on it. I'm gonna get it. Mr. Broom came back and we said, Mr. Broom, where's that new Cadillac that you were gonna buy? He said, I told you if the Lord say the same. And I think we got to pay homage to Mr. Broom. I understand he passed away a couple years ago, and he was just Mr. Broom. And until about when Broom was in the funeral home business, if he needed a shot of whiskey, he just got the boys and put them in the hearse and rolled them down. So as I ended, Wisner Gilbert was an interesting experience. Of course, there was Moses Jackson there. Y'all remember Moses? Yeah. I mean, in many ways, he said a lot of stuff, but he did encourage me to go to school. So I got to give him credit for the rest of that stuff. Carvin was which one? Carvin was the one that always did the old Baptist song. You know, that old awful day will surely come. When you know at that time you're about to get what? A test. Yeah, so he had a way of. Huh? He would say that. Yeah, did come in trying to sing. They call him Did, right? Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Carter. He would always start out. And so it just went on and on. I guess I don't know much about Mr. Singleton. How was he? He was just smiling all the time. He just happy.
Give him talk, you won't have no play.
Huh?
Give him talk, you won't have no play.
Mr. Ernest, I had a chance to work with Mr. Ernest. He fired me and hired me back, you know. The whole bus broke down and he got mad because I didn't do nothing that night to get it fixed. And, you know, our job was to get the kids from Franklin Parish to the Northeast. When Lord Jackson retired, my job was to guide that little bus, that big bus over there. And then when the bus broke down, my job was to get it fixed so we'd be ready to hit that road at 5 o'clock in the next morning. So we figured that out. But that's my story. There was more. Mr. Thomas was in mechanic, right? That's Thomas.
Anyone else? If there's nothing else, we thank God and we thank our educators for a good job of making us who we are today. May God bless you. May God keep you. It's my prayer. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna pass out a piece of paper and I want you to write your name on this sheet of paper. And I'll pick it up. And I'm gonna tell you about memories and what teachers instilled in us. When I was in the 12th grade, it was time for the final exam. And Ms. Brass, the English teacher, ran out of, you know, back in the day they had this paper that you put it on the machine and then you had to pull it off. You had to glue stuff. So we were doing our final exam in our senior year. And Ms. Brass ran out of the final exam. So she told me, name on the paper. So she told me, she said, Doris, I need you to go, because you know it was in the library, the back of this class is our library, where they ran off their exams. So she told me, she said, Doris, I need you to go and run off some more of the exam. I ran out of the exam. It was our final exam for English 4. They had instilled in us so much of integrity and dignity. When I went in the room to run off the papers, I turned my head, closed my eyes, and ran off the paper. I did not even want to look at the final exam. That's how much they had instilled in us. So I could have gotten one, I could have kept it, put it in my pocket, and passed it to the next English 4 class that was going to be taking the test. But I didn't. I didn't even look at it myself because I felt that she put enough trust in me not to do that. And I didn't. That's how much those teachers meant to us at that school. That's how much in everything. All right, I need everybody to write their name on there, on a piece of paper, and then give it to Betty.
We got some more here.
You need
We
some
got
paper?
We got some.
Part of the program, the introduction of the teachers, which we've done in just a verbal way, and then introduction of the staff. And what we're going to do now, we got them on the video. We need the teachers to come right up here, right in front, for everybody, right now. And then the staff, Mr. Willie Williams, any other staff members. Not only teachers from Wisner Gilbert High, but teachers from any other region. And we want them all standing up front here. Teachers.
Look like you've been playing with it. Looking good.
And the rest of you in the audience, take some pictures of this moment. And we'll share those pictures. We're waiting for everybody to come up. Teachers and staff. And here's a favorite quote here I just want to read, and then I'm going to have each person to just say their name, anything about what they did, okay? What grade as teachers and where. But here's the quote. Listen to this, you all. It says, "My parents love me. My teachers educate me. My favorite teacher does both." I thought that was a good one. That's a good one. So, I'm Betty Ward Cooper. I am a teacher, and I'm taught at elementary as well as collegiate level.
My name is Wisner Wade. I'm one of the old school bus drivers.
Still young at heart.
I retired in 52 years of driving, and later I returned back full time. So I'm driving now. But when it comes down to people, I love people. I love children too. And if I didn't, I wouldn't take this kind of time to spend with them. But I got a chance to meet so many different ones. And when they come back and remind me who he is, because I be forgotten so many years, your mind vanishes. So, but anyway, I'm not going to prolong the time, but I'm just so glad that this class took in their heart the love, you know what I mean, love of bus driver.
because the bus drivers, they really play the part now. That's right, now you got some of them that don't, but most of them do. And I was one of them, I tried my best to get them.
We are limited on time, so please.
I'm Louis Johnson, from Advanced Science with Wisner Gilbert, 1964 to 1970. At Municipal High School, Math and Science from 1970 to 1979. 1979 to 1994, I was principal of Wisner Elementary School, and ended up being principal at Fort Necessity, which most of you never thought would happen. I also gave a lot of my time to Wisner Gilbert coaching basketball, football, and baseball. And I was not paid not 1 cent. I started baseball at Wisner High School when we integrated the school. I coached there for 22 years. The first 3 years, I received not 1 cent. In 1979, we won state championship as the highest paid coach in Louisiana, $300 a year. See, I was giving my work. I was giving my time because of the love that I had for the kids. I'm so proud of you've done this, having this wonderful occasion. Y'all make us feel so good. I'm not going to prolong the time because of all of your teachers. I call names. To be so proud of you and your principal, your bus driver, and you're also the support personnel. We're also proud of you because of the respect that you have shown. They put in a lot of extra time, doing extra things they weren't paid to do. But they did it for your benefit. And I'm so proud of you. I could just talk, but I'm going to pass this on because I believe in doing things in my ordinary manner.
Gladys Edwards, Kensaw Parish, physical education teacher, 9th through 12th grade, won 6 state championships.
Dorothy W. Brown, 8th grade teacher at Wisner Gilbert High School. I taught all subjects in the 8th grade. At the closing of the schools, when we became a unified school district, I taught at Ogden High School. Later, I became principal of Ogden High School Class C. Then later on, I became principal at Winsboro Junior High School. I requested a lateral transfer when Ogden closed. And I am proud of all of you. I enjoyed every day I was in the classroom.
I am Jenny McKinley, and I taught business at Wisner Gilbert High School until we integrated. Then I moved to Wisner High School, which was the other school, and I continued teaching business there. And let me tell you one thing about me. I was so in love with my students, and when those students would graduate, I would just almost cry. And I said, those parents sent those kids to school to graduate, just you're crying. Okay. And I loved every minute of it. I didn't mind getting up at 5 o'clock so I could get ready on time and be at school at 7 o'clock. And you know we had to sign in. So I enjoy every bit of that, and I am enjoying you all today. And I see so many of my students who have outgrown me. And they have to tell me who they are. And when I look at them, I look at their name tag to see who you are. Then they look at my name tag. I say, this is this old lady. Let's take a picture with this old lady.
Alan Jean Bucket, special education teacher and elementary teacher.
She was short and sweet. Shirley Johnson Douglas taught PE, social study, and that was in the class of 1971. After integration, still at Wisner Gilbert, but it was called Wisner Junior High, and we taught there for 13 years. And later we went to Wisner Elementary, Wisner High School, and all those things. Ogden, Ellen Jean and I think went to just about every school in Franklin Parish. But anyway, to God be the glory for it all, and it's truly a blessing to see each and every one of you here today.
Amen. Nettie Brown started out 67, Wisner Colored.
Nettie,
I
turn around
was
so
in
you
this
can
high
hear.
school level, it was all of it. 6th grade. And when we integrated, we went to Wisner Junior High School, taught there. And from Wisner Junior High School, well, the school's closed down, we had to go to Wisner High School. Wisner High School, I was assistant principal, also worked with cheerleaders for 26 years. Me too, Mr. Johnson, did not get a penny. But we did it because we love the children. From Wisner High School closed, then we had to go to Winsboro. Assistant principal at Winsboro Elementary. I transferred from Winsboro Elementary as assistant principal of Franklin Parish High School. I retired from Franklin Parish High School. Then when I retired, the last day I retired, they called me in Catahoula Parish to come and help them. And I was principal at Jonesville Junior High School. I also retired. I came back to Wisner. Stayed there a little while, retired again. When I retired, they called me back to Catahoula Parish as assistant principal, because I didn't want principal. So I just said, give me assistant and I'll come back. I'm still presently in Catahoula Parish, principal of Jonesville Junior High School. Our school, fortunately, is going to close this year. We're going to be going to Block High School. 6th and 7th grade will be going to Block High School. 5th grade will be going to Jonesville High School. I will still be principal, but not principal of Block High School. I said no. So I took a little cut in it, where I had just 8 kids. I will be principal at the alternative school in Jonesville, Louisiana. And that's the story of it.
Yes.
Still working.
Good evening. I'm Judy Whitley Thomas. I'm an exceptional person. I'm a paraprofessional, but in Wisner Gilbert is my heart. And to prove that, I'm the mother of 4 children. I educated 4 of my children. In 2009, I went back to school and I got a degree from ULM. So I am very proud of that accomplishment. Don't too many people get an opportunity to do that. But God blessed me. And I thank God that He never let education leave my mind. And He couldn't have, because to educate 4 kids in these times, that's hard, people. But anyway, I am so glad to be here today. I am so glad to see this red and white and everything. And Doris, I am so glad that you called me and invited us to come. And you know, we are the Wisner Gilbert Alumni Association. I'm so glad to see all our people out here today. And we hope to see you all when we have our conference. We're going to Baton Rouge next year, this time. So I'm inviting everybody to come on down there and enjoy us.
That's our local president, Wisner Gilbert. And myself, I am the national president for Wisner Gilbert.
My name is Annie Ewing, and I'm from South Louisiana. But I do feel like I'm a part of the Wisner community, along with the Gilbert community. I'm an outsider, the only one here from my family. I have no family. But I'm happy to say that a lot of people in Wisner and Gilbert took me in as family. So I feel that I am at home. I came here to teach school under the leadership of Mr. Eugene Keys. And I taught 6th grade, and I saw one of my students walk into the teaching. But I'm happy to be here. Everyone called, I'm proud to say that everyone treats me as family. They do come up and they speak to me at times and what have you. I have no family here, but I stole me some. Wherever I go, I try to steer me somewhere. And I feel if I ever need anybody, I can call on somebody to help me out. And I appreciate you a lot.
Leonard Ewan Jr. I was pausing to see will I get a little laugh because of everybody looking at I'm as old as I am. Junior? First name is Junior? Well, I'm Leonard Ewan Jr. Part of 1961 class. As a matter of fact, Alan Jean and I was classmates. Worked in Delhi from 65 through 2001, I retired. At 2076, I became principal of the middle school, worked there until 2001, retired, then served about 11 years on the school board in Richmond Parish. It is my opportunity to meet in every one of you here, and I must admit, you people that what, class of 69, 68, 69, and 70 look like babies. Old man would like me to relate to you, but it's my opportunity to meet and greet a lot of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Destiny, come on up here. My name is Vivian Keys Brown, and I started at Franklin Parish Training School in '68, from '68 to '70, and I taught 6th and 7th grade science. Then when they integrated, I went to Ward 3, and I taught 6th and 7th grade science there. In 1972, I moved to Saginaw, Michigan, and entered the Buena Vista School District, where I started as a 3rd grade teacher. And 30 years later, I retired as superintendent of the Buena Vista School District after having served for 6 years as superintendent.
My name is Glenda Smith, and it was a privilege to work for 27 years, working with special ed in the city of Houston, Texas. I worked with the students that society said would be a menace to society. But God had a plan for those students, and I am so grateful today that I gave 27 years of my life for those students that was rejected by society. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm Destiny Dickens. I'm Laverne's youngest daughter, and Ms. Vivian wants me to come tell y'all that I am a teacher. I teach 4th grade ELA at, I'm at Alexandria right now, but I was at Winsboro. I did 2 years in Winsboro. Yes, ma'am.
Amosha Heckard, teacher, 24 years. I've been teaching, I've taught in Franklin Parish. Now I'm teaching in Monroe City schools. I teach 4th grade math. Daughter of Nancy Heckard. I'm looking forward to retirement. I'm counting down my years. Mr. Johnson was my principal. Miss Betty Cooper, she's my school board member. Miss McKinley was my business teacher. And Miss Douglas was my social studies teacher. And Miss Brown was my social studies teacher and my cheerleader sponsor. And Miss Julie B, we worked together.
What made you start singing?
Guilty girl.
Yes. Well, thank you all for all of the great comments and all your contributions. And one last round of applause for all of these. Doris?
Take a reflection about teaching then we'll leave.
We'll hear these reflections by Ms. Dorothy Brown. Okay, and then we'll have dinner.
First of all, I would like to just say, let's thank God for being able to be assembled here today.
Yes.
We've been through a lot as Wisner Gilbert students and staff members.
came on board after Wisner Gilbert had been organized. I was still in college. But then I graduated and I became a teacher in the Franklin Parish School System. I am so proud to see all of you. If you don't mind, just raise your hand if I taught you in my 8th grade class, if you remember me. Raise your hand. I'm glad to see you. And I think you've turned out well. That's right, keep waving. But I would like to say this. You had one of the best instructional leaders, Mr. Ernest, as your principal. He could be rated up against any principal in the state of Louisiana or across this nation. He cared about you. He believed in seeing that you develop to your highest potential. He also had a staff of teachers that also he wanted them to develop you to your highest potential. We have a lot to be thankful for Mr. Ernest. And he meant business, and you didn't have many visits in his office. Those of you that had one, I don't think you wanted to go back. But I would like to say I was sad when Wisner Gilbert School closed. I was on the school board in District 7 here in Franklin Parish for 17 years. In November, I was in a runoff election. I lost, but I feel like I had given my best to District 7 to help maintain the school system. But I hurt when I passed and looked at Wisner Gilbert School, because many of you know that was the best piece of pride property in Franklin Parish for school. So I would like to say this to you. I am proud of all of you. I have kept up with some of you, but you have turned out well. You put to use what you learned at Wisner Gilbert. So in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, I would like to say this, because her words are benefiting to the classes of 1968, 69, and 70, and all other classes. She said in her words, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." These words depict 1968, 1969, and 1970, those classes of Wisner Gilbert High School. You were challenged by the staff at Wisner Gilbert to make a difference in your life and in the world. You faced and met challenges academically with dignity, dedication, and success. According to Jeremiah 29:11, your endeavors were planned by the Lord. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Yes, Wisner Gilbert attendees, all of you students, you accomplished and excel very well in all of your endeavors. Thank you. May God bless you.
Good afternoon. No, not Wisner Gilbert. If you hear me, clap once. If you hear me, clap twice. Thank you so much for letting all. Today we're cousin. Thank you. Today it warms my heart to sit here and stand here and look at all the people that's coming together to help us celebrate our 50th year anniversary. 50 years. Is that awesome? That is awesome. Not only the class of 69 is celebrating their 50th year, class of 70 and class of 68 is celebrating 50 years. And we're coming together. And our theme is anchored in dignity, love, and integrity. Later on today, we're going to have an activity, because it's not only those activities, we're going to have some others that you're going to come up with and tell us about what other activities that we have in dignity, love, and integrity that we're going to be showing and sharing this afternoon. So, on our program, we have our greetings, scripture reading from the Honorable Betty Sue Ward Cooper, prayer and blessing of the food, Pastor Glenda Smith, the welcome, the Honorable Alan Jean Ludwig, song by Amasha, am I pronouncing that right? Amosha Heckert, history of Wisner Gilbert High School, Dr. A.L. Brown, introduction, the Honorable Betty Sue Ward Cooper, Wisner Gilbert reflections, our teacher, Ms. Dorothy Brown, recognition of veterans, Mr. Lewis Johnson, Wisner Gilbert Anchors Game, Doris Gray, the last from the past of the minor. We will have photos, and we're going to meet and greet. We're going to have a balloon launch, our alma mater, and our closing remarks. Okay, next on the agenda. Oh, and let me stop and tell you this. When we decided in August that we were going to have this, I shared it with the individuals last night at the event. And we prayed and asked God to help and guide us and let Him guide us and not ourselves, because it's not about us and everything else like this. And so, our purpose in this world is to plant the seed. And this is what our purpose is to plant the seed, and that's what our goal was, to plant the seed not only within our classmates, but within the community and stuff. And that's why we said we want to invite not only our classmates, but you all also. We have written an article, and this article is going to be published this coming Monday in the Franklin Sun. And that article is dealing about our struggle. And in that article, I told them that the struggle there in those 14 years, but the struggle is real, and the struggle is still real, and what are we going to do about it? So today, not only are we going to celebrate, but we're going to decide on, and we're going to implement what we can do as a result of us coming together. Because it's not just coming together to celebrate today, but our community is hurting. Our world is hurting. And so if God has blessed us, on this side of the day, what can we do? And so before we leave today, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about, implementation as a result of coming out of this struggle, and the struggle that we're still facing today, okay? So sometime in the program, we're going to talk about that as well. All right, thank you. Okay, first person is scripture reading, Honorable Betty Sue Ward. And please come up here to the podium if you're on the program and stuff, because we are videoing this, so this is an archive. So we can be able to keep this as documentation and everything, okay? Thank you. Oh, and did y'all see in this room back here? I know everybody by this picture that you know who he is. Mrs. Ellis has brought memorabilia from him. And so we have time to go in there and see some of the memorabilia that he has and she has for us to share and to look at and everything. So it's in this room right here. Thank you. Thank you, Doris.
I am Betty Ward Cooper, class of 1969. I am one of 8 siblings. I grew up right here in Wisner. I just wanted you to know unlike Doris. It's just awesome to be able to come together with my former classmates and people that, you know, in the community where I live, and just to look in your face and to, you know, just thank you for all the encouragement you've given us, each one of us through the years. It made a difference. We knew that the teachers loved us. We knew that they gave us all they had. They never gave up on us. And we definitely are saluting our teachers today. I see several in the audience. I may miss some, but I have to salute Dorothy Brown. I have to salute Mrs. McKinley. I'm still looking around any other teachers here that I am just overlooking. Okay? Well, not from here, but where are you from? Houston, Texas, and your name? Glenda Smith. Pastor Glenda Smith offered up the prayer last night at our banquet. She did an outstanding job for us. Thank you. And so, any other teachers here? Because, oh, Shirley Johnson back there. Any other teachers? Nettie B. Brown, Alan G. Luckett, Vivian Keys. See, I knew. I'm just so glad I wanted to pause and get you to acknowledge you, say your name. Because I'm telling you, you all made a difference for us. Education was the key. But I must say this. It's not only education, academic education, but it has to be spiritual education as well. And we need to make sure that our children are getting that. Some children are in households right now in which their parents were not nurtured about the Lord. So they're not giving it to their kids. So that's a bad situation. So we've got to be praying for that situation as well. So I'm glad to have the moment to just speak the names of our beloved teachers and community people. And I hope that we'll be able to show that love even more as we go forward. Some of you asked about the souvenir booklet. I want you to know the reason they were limited was because we only ordered them for those that paid the fee. But if you want one, we can order it. So you just need to get with us, and we will make that happen for you. All right? Now, I am honored to read the Word of God here this morning, and no better scripture than this one, because it really points out how much the Lord loves us, how He tenderly cares for us. See, He tenderly cared for us to get us through all of the young years to this point in our lives right now. So I'm just bowed down to Him as I read this scripture. And it is Psalms 23. All of you know it. No better scripture. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for Thou art with me. Thy rod and Thy staff, Thy comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Next.
Truly, we honor the presence of the Lord in this house on today. We could not do this without the Lord, without His directions, and without acknowledging Him. You know, I was thinking on this morning as we were driving into Louisiana, what would I say to such an occasion? And the Lord began to give me this song, and I don't sing, but I'm going to say it. We are together again. If you look around the room on today, there are some that are not here today. But we bless the Lord for those that are here today, because God has been good to somebody here. And I'm so honored to be a part of this celebration, to celebrate a celebration along with my husband. I am the daughter-in-law of the late Herbert Smith Sr., and I am the wife of Pastor Leonard Smith. We bring you greetings from Houston, Texas. I am the pastor of Christ-Centered Outreach Ministry, and I am so honored to be here on today to share with you what God has shared with us. Father God, we just thank you for this day. Lord God, this is the day that the Lord has made. So therefore, let us rejoice and let us be glad in it, oh God. Let us be glad for one another that we are yet here today. We are yet in a place, Lord, that we can lift up holy hands and bless the Lord in the sanctuary. Oh God, we bless your name on today. You've been better to us than we have to ourselves. And we're so glad, God, that we can come together. We're so grateful, Lord God, for Miss Doris, Lord, and all of those that work with her to bring us together. Lord, it is so important that we love one another. It is so important to know that we are our brothers and sisters' keeper on today. You, oh God, is the one that is working with us and through us, have shown us the way, and we are going the way. And so today, Lord, we say, have thine own way in this place, God. Oh God, anoint us afresh, Lord. Oh God, what we bring to the table on today, don't let us leave the same, but let us leave changed, oh God. Let us leave transformed, oh God. Oh God, being there for one another, learning how to love, learning how to forgive, and learning how to accept, oh God. And it's only what you allows. Oh God, have your way in this service on today. Continue to bond us together with cords of love that cannot be broken. And Lord God, not only do you, oh God, bond us together, but Lord God, let the food be nourishing to our bodies, Lord. Bless those, Lord God, who prepared it. Bless those that were working behind the scene, never said a word, but say, what can I do to him? Oh God, we're so grateful today. As you bless us, Lord, we're blessing you back for the more than enough blessings on today. Let it be nourishing and healthy to our bodies. These blessings we ask in your darling Son, Jesus. And we all say, amen, and bless the Lord.
Put the sign up in the back.
Okay, that's me on the end.
Right here.
Yeah.
I've already told you.
All right, how you
I
want?
see number 20 on here.
Who, me?
Lay the roll in there, lay the roll.
President, we get chairs in here?
No, we don't
You
stand.
find you'll be able to see the guys in
Hey,
here?
Yeah, we don't stand.
My classmate.
Ain't that Brown?
Really?
Not family.
Let me go see Roseanne. Okay, Rusty, I need to go get A here.
Not family.
Oh, you got yours too?
Talk about.
Hey, Jack, are you thinking everybody?
Yeah.
Let it roll.
It's rolling.
Yeah.
Robert, tell them
Robert, get on that side. So we gotta balance it out.
Balance.
Yeah. Make it even.
We waiting on Doris and Adele.
Oh.
I make sure I want.
Yes.
All right.
She went to go get.
Y'all, both of y'all come here.
Yeah, look nasty.
Right.
Yeah, Mrs. Lynn.
They don't have everybody yet.
Two more. We have two more coming.
Hey there, Mrs. Lynn.
Doris.
Hey there,
We'll
Mrs.
make sure we got it.
I know, I couldn't take them.
It's right
Out the door.
there.
You can might be in the way.
Alright.
All right.
Everybody smile.
Say money.
Try to look this way. I think
Here, come here, Dale.
Oh, yeah, no. All right, move up.
You gonna count him?
You got to miss that?
Count.
Oh, yeah.
Then you gotta see somebody can see, man.
Thank you, I need this.
You get this gum out of my mouth.
All right. All right, y'all ready? Ready now. Everybody look at me now. Everybody's got to look at me. Yeah. Everybody's looking at me. All right. Looking good. Looking good. On three. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. One more. Now this one, you all just graduated in 1969. Celebrate! Is that it? Celebrate! All right.
Why you stand right here? Hey, I need all of the class officers. Who were they?
I don't think so.
We had a class officer.
I don't think we had any.
We didn't have Did we get chairs in here?
No, we're gonna stand.
Fine, you'll be able to see the guys in there.
Yeah, we're gonna stand.
My classroom. Ain't Brown? Really?
All centers, yeah, not balance.
We're gonna see Rose. Okay, Russ, I need to go get A
Not balance.
Oh, you got yours too?
Talk about.
Hey, Jack, are you thinking about it?
Yeah.
Let it roll.
It's rolling. Yeah.
Robert, tell them I'm one man, I still wear everything.
Robert, get on that side. So we gotta balance it out.
Balance?
Yeah. Maybe
We're waiting on Doris and Adele. I made sure I was.
Yes.
All right.
She went to go get.
Y'all, both y'all know.
Yeah, look now.
Right. Yeah, missing in action.
They don't have everybody yet.
Two more. We have two more coming. Hey there, missing in action.
Doris.
Hey there, missing in action.
I know, I couldn't find them.
It's right here.
They might be anywhere.
All right.
Everybody smile.
Save money.
Try to look this way.
Here, come here, Dale.
You gonna count him?
You got to miss that?
Count.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on. Then you gotta see somebody can see, man.
Thank you, I need this.
You get this gum out of my mouth.
All right. All right, y'all ready? Ready now. Everybody look at me now. Everybody's got to look at me. Yeah. Everybody's looking at me. All right. Looking good. Looking good. On three. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. One more. Now this one, you all just graduated in 1969. Celebrate! Is that it? Celebrate! All right.
Why you stand right here? Hey, I need all of the class officers. Who were they?
I don't think so.
We had a class officer.
I don't think we had any.
We didn't have Did we get chairs in here?
No, we're gonna stand.
Fine, you'll be able to see the guys in there.
Yeah, we're gonna stand.
My classroom. Ain't Brown? Really?
All centers, yeah, not balance.
Fine, we're gonna see Rose. Okay, Russ, I need to go get A.
Not balance.
Oh, you got yours too?
Talk about.
Hey, Jack, are you thinking everybody?
Yeah.
Let it roll.
It's rolling.
Robert, tell them
No. Robert, get on that side. So we gotta balance it out.
Balance? Okay.
Yeah.
We got
Make
some
it
more
even.
that's coming. We're waiting on Doris and Adele. I made sure I was.
Yes.
She went to go get.
Y'all, both of y'all go get them.
Yeah, look now.
Right.
They don't have everybody yet.
Two more. We have two more coming. Hey there, Mr. Nanette.
Doris. Come on.
Hey there,
I couldn't
I know, I
couldn't find
think
it.
them.
It's right
Out the door.
Hey
It
there.
might be in the way.
All right.
All right.
Everybody smile.
Say money.
Titus, look this way.
Here come Adele.
All right,
You gonna count him? You got to miss that count. Oh, yeah.
Then tell us something about the seat, man.
Thank you, I need this one.
Let me get this gum out of my mouth.
All right. All right, y'all ready? Ready now. Everybody look at me now. Everybody's got to look at me. Yeah. Everybody's looking at me. All right. Looking good. Looking good. On three. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. One more. Now this one, you all just graduated in 1969. Celebrate! Is that it? Celebrate!
I had it right here.
All right.
Why you stand right here? Hey, I need all of the class officers. Who were they?
I don't think so.
We had a class officer.
I don't think we had any.
We didn't have that.
You are Alan, Sam, and Wisner Gilbert. Please come and take a picture.
Go ahead.
Good. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Close up.
That's right, Doris.
Ready? Oh. Y'all ready? On 3. Come on. Y'all not moving.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be what? Oh, well.
All right. Team Sarah.
Yeah, you know, we used to have a birthday party at your house. From my house, have a birthday party.
Class of what?
Class of 1961.
Your name?
Leonard Gilbert.
Okay, y'all got that?
All right.
Doris Richard Gray's salutatory in a class of 1969.
Vivian Keys Brown, salutatory in class of 1964.
Alan J. Luggett, salutatory in class of 1961.
Doris Brian King, salutatory, 1970.
Betty Sue Ward Cooper, class of 69, valedictorian.
All vowels and sounds, let's go. And then, right after the vowels.
Is Red Bingham on there?
Michael.
Michael Bingham was number 10, but
Yeah, number 20 on the end.
Where you at?
On the end at the bottom.
okay, Miss Keola Bingham's son.
Is that Mr. I don't know.
His dad was Mr. Percy that used to work at Big Star.
Yeah!
Okay, but they called him Charlie Reed.
Yeah, that's
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, he gave me a. Sign type.
Why you got the pen?
Boy, you got the pen, we got no pen.
Yeah, hey, she can turn that thing this way. I'll show you what, look at it. Take a look at